I thought I would ask you about your process and what inspired the works that you developed and how it developed. So if you could just talk a little bit about that.
Hello. Buenas tardes. Well, for Party Shadows, I mostly start with the idea of Plato's cave analogy, thinking that how us as a human being become prisoners of our own shadows, right? In this case, the shadows is the society. How we are in that cage of we have to do what it has been dictated for many years. We have to be lawyers, or we have to be doctors, we have to do this, and then we'll follow that patterns. And at some point we are so concerned of getting out of that path. And we're so afraid, and then we become a big group of people walking in the same direction. And the first idea that I got for that piece was motivated by a concert that we went to see Anne Frank, and then we saw the musician just walking into the stage, guys sitting, they all were dressed in black, same tie, same bow tie, same skirt for the ladies, but once they start playing the instrument, each one of them becomes individual, right? So they become with their own voice. So that was the main idea of like, okay, let's use this analogy and combine it with this visual image that I get and see how we, us as a human, can get out of that cage that we become prisoner of. The process was really intense because the piece was set on Hobart Street 2, and there's that amount of hours that you have to choreograph work, which I end up not using the right amount of hours because the company was traveling and this and that. I was supposed to use 50 hours, but I think I ended up using like 35. So it was intense. It was a lot of tension at the moment too, with trying to get a nice work accomplished because it was my first work with the company, so I wanted to make it look nice and decent. And now being with Hegwit, I could give all the credit to the dancers, to the company, and to Mariah Gutierrez, which has been the one that staged the piece. Because I have not been part of the entire process. I've been popping in a few rehearsals here and there. But so far the dancers are doing a terrific job, I have to say, because they were supposed to be doing line of sights until last Monday. So they have Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to put the piece again together after a year. So they deserve a big round of applause.
Hi, how's everyone doing? I'm still catching my breath a little bit. Give and take, I feel like it was born out of my own necessity to create work. I haven't had the opportunity to be creating work consistently in the past few years. I'm a choreographer, but I'm mostly performing all the time. I'm going on tour all the time. So finding the time to make something that it mattered to me. I feel like that was the idea behind Give and Take, and also working with my wife in the process, in the creating of the piece. We've been doing this piece for about 2 weeks. No, not been doing the piece. We started working on the piece about 2 years ago, and we put it to sleep. We never got to perform anything. We have snippets of movement and things, ideas popping up in the little rehearsal time and space that we were able to get at the time. And last year, we were invited to perform in the Latinx Arts Festival that happened in Logan Square. It was a big rush to put everything together. We did it. And I still consider, at that time I called the piece a work in progress. I'm calling it now a working experiment because I'm not done with the piece. I want to keep working on this and developing, making it longer. And it is the struggle at the moment to me of finding space to create work. And also, originally the idea of the piece was a little bit about how we are different, but still we complement each other. I'm Cuban, Jordan is American, and like we live together, we do everything together. But there are some times that, like, you know, the culture shock like still happens, even though we've been together for close to 7 years now. And so it's like that give and take. But I feel that that also applies to actually the process of being a creator, and like the struggles that you have to, the things that you have to go through to create work and show it to people. Like, it's not easy, like having the means to do all of that. So that's it.